Hey guys, I'm Andrew, also known as Iron Android, and I love to talk about movies and TV shows way too much. With that being said, in today's video, I'm going to be ranking the top 10 worst superhero movies of all time, and I would love to hear your guys' rankings down in the comments down below. In 10th place, I got Morbius. Morbius is a bad movie, and the only thing that makes it good is all the memes that came from this. And I think it's funny that they literally put the movie back in theaters after they took it out just for the memes so people can make fun of it some more. And the post-credit scene to this movie where Adrian Tube, aka Vulture, goes into the Morbius universe, and it doesn't even make any sense. What it does is just stupid, which is why I rate it a 3 out of 10. In ninth place, I got Kraven the Hunter. This is the last movie of the Sony Spider-Man spin-off universe, which I am so happy because these movies, other than the Venom movies, are awful. Kraven is probably one of the better ones in the movies, and I will say the only thing redeeming about this movie is Aaron Taylor Johnson is back in Marvel and playing Kraven. If you don't know, he played Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. But I will say they butchered Kraven's origin story and it made me physically mad. But other than that, I rate it a 3.5 out of 10. In eighth place, I have Batman and Robin. This movie was so bad, and it's an abomination of movie and TV history. Literally, it was so poorly written, and it had terrible acting. It is completely illogical and over the top of stupidity. And not to mention, it was a toy commercial, literally for everyone, which meant that this movie was meant just to sell toys, and that's it. George Clooney as Batman was terrible because he was literally in a rubber suit, and it was awful to the point where George Clooney himself literally stated in interviews that he is ashamed of playing Batman and doesn't deserve the Batman title. But other than that, I literally rate this movie a 2.9 out of 10. In seventh place, I got Green Lantern. This movie is awful. The plot is messy. There's no character development whatsoever. You know when a movie is bad when the lead actor is trashing his movie publicly and in other movies next to it. But other than that, I do not like this movie whatsoever. The only thing that's actually okay in this movie is Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's chemistry as Hal Jordan and his love interest. But other than that, I rate this movie a literal 2.9 out of 10. In sixth place, I got Batman vs. Superman. This movie is awful. No character development. The plot is all over the place and is messy. Plus, it literally came out around the same time as Captain America Civil War. So why wouldn't this movie flop? Apparently, it made $800 million in the box office, which I am super surprised about that. And if I'm being honest, Superman is barely in the movie, and when he talks to Batman, his voice is so annoying. And I will say that the best part about this movie is the Batman vs. Superman fight and the Flash cameo, and Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. But other than that, nothing else interesting happens in this movie, which is why I rate it a 2.5 out of 10. In fifth place, I got Thor Ragnarok. This movie is unfunny. The comedy does not hit. The reason why you guys got Thor Love and Thunder is because you guys praised Thor Ragnarok so much, and Thor is not supposed to be a comedic character. And I will say, Love and Thunder is way better than Thor Ragnarok. The only good joke I really have in this movie, and that they did well, is the he's a friend from work joke. And that's the only part about this movie that I actually enjoy. And literally, the get help scene was stupid. I will say that Loki's was also kind of good. But other than that, I rate this movie a 2.1 out of 10. And in fourth place, I'm going to get murdered for this. I have The Dark Knight, but I think it's horrible. The plot feels overstuffed, and some scenes felt like they were dragging on a little too long, and the movie feels too dark for my liking. The only thing that's great about this movie is Heath Ledger's Joker, R.I.P. But in my opinion, Christian Bale is the worst Batman actor, and in my opinion, the best Batman actor is Michael Keaton. But there's no words for this movie. I think it is an abomination to the Batman franchise, and it should have never been made. But I rate it a literal 1 out of 10. And in third place, I got Spider-Man Homecoming. To me, this is not a Spider-Man movie. To me, Spider-Man movies means I want to see Spider-Man do cool Spider-Man things, and you do not get any of that in this movie. And I will say, he doesn't even throw a single punch. He uses objects just to make the bad guys punch themselves, which I thought was just stupid. He needs to be saved by Iron Man like a billion times in this movie, and you do not understand that he basically messes up and is a rookie and needs to be saved by Iron Man. I get that's character development and everything, but it's not the best. And I will say the only thing that he really does that's impressive in this movie is save his friends from the Washington Monument and lift the boulders to get him out of the rubble of the ended situation. And basically, Vulture beats himself. But other than that, I rate this a 1 out of 10. And in my runner-up spot, I got Fan 4 Stick. This movie gave me a migraine. Nearly 2 hours of boredom, and the acting and action was terrible. They made Doctor Doom, one of the biggest Marvel villains of all time, look like a pathetic joke. I did not like that they went to another dimension to get their powers. I thought it was kind of weird, and I thought that Reed Richards, that abandoned the team for like a year, was really out of place for him. The only thing redeeming about this movie is Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch, and this movie also gave us the biggest meme of all time. But other than that, I rate this movie a 0.1 out of 10. And in first place, I am surprised that I did not have Fan 4 Stick, because when I saw this movie that's in my first place, I was like, yeah, this is the worst. And that movie I'm talking about is Madam Web. This movie is the stupidest superhero movie of all time, and it's the worst superhero movie of all time. No character development, crappy writing, doesn't even go anywhere. And their inner superheroes just for barely a minute of the entire movie. And not to mention that Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney literally fired their agents and literally was like, yeah, you guys suck. You guys suck at giving us jobs in movies. You're not our agents anymore. And they literally were lied to that they were joining the MCU. And that is just bonkers to me. But other than that, I rate this movie a 0, 0, 0, 0 out of 10. But with that being said, guys, I'm Andrew, also known as Iron Android, and if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a single upload. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to my gaming channel and my TikTok. Link will be in the descriptions for both of those. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.